And both of these companies in 2024 netted around $580 million in total. And so our goal is to just take a small chunk of that pie with flipify.ai. What's going on, guys? So on this channel, you guys have already seen me build 5 no-code AI apps. But what's different about the application that we're building out in this video series is that I'm going to be deploying it and showing you guys how we're going to scale it from $0 to $100,000 in revenue. And this is just episode 2 of building this out. I'm going to be building this application called flipify.ai, where I help users flip cars and make profits. Without further ado, guys, let's get into this breakdown because our app is basically ready for deployment. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name's Kev. I run a no-code academy where I help people build AI agencies and their own AI SaaS applications. I also run my own software companies. Why do I think Flipify is going to succeed, and why do I think you guys should copy me? Well, we're going to be combining 2 different companies that are already existing and are already crushing it. Carfax is an online North American company that basically does VIN search or vehicle history searches for all the different cars in North America, and it also has like a database where you can buy and sell cars. Go High Level is a CRM tool where users can track their leads, their sales, and their revenue management all in one platform. And both of these companies in 2024 netted around $580 million in total. And so our goal is to just take a small chunk of that pie with flipify.ai. Now, what makes things even more exciting for us, guys, is that I've already identified the viral marketing strategy that I'm going to be using to make this project go viral. So really quick, guys, I'm just going to show you an example of what I mean. So on the screen is this creator called Vukum, and what Vukum does is he documents his journey buying and selling luxury watches, and the process of his videos are very engaging and very viral. As you guys can see, he's pumping in an insane amount of numbers, and so my goal is to do the exact same thing with Flipify. I'm going to be making content of me flipping cars and using Flipify as the solution to actually do the sales and make logical decisions. And so this guy is already proving that this format already works of showing people the process of buying and selling luxury items. And so we're just going to become the car version of what he's doing. So I've already hired a videographer to help me do this. And once the project launches, I'm going to be making content to show you guys how Flipify is going to scale to thousands and thousands of users. So I already came out with a couple AI app builder tutorials, and a few members in my academy have used those tutorials to launch viral apps already. What that means is people are coming into my community, they're using the things that I'm showing you, they're actually launching these apps and they're making money. So what I'm showing you is not bullshit. It's completely legit, and you just need to get to building the actual application with me. So now that you guys saw an example of a marketing case study, let me actually break down the full marketing blueprint, because every single AI SaaS that I tell my academy to come out with and every AI SaaS that I'm coming out with has the exact same marketing blueprint, which is the product is the solution to the user's problem. And so for Flipify, the problem is the user learning how to flip cars and do it efficiently. And so the solution is Flipify, but our marketing goal is to become the car version of that Vukum creator so that we can start presenting ourselves as an expert in the space. And so another thing that we're tying to Flipify to give ourselves a competitive advantage is that every pro member that signs up and pays $20 a month, they're going to get access to our private community. And this private community is going to be full of all these other users that are trying to buy and flip cars. So this is a competitive advantage because these other companies that I showed you, they're not coming out with like a community that actually trains their users on how to use their software properly, where we're actually building a whole community. In future episodes, you guys are going to actually see what I mean. Now, before I actually show you the application so far, let's get into the breakdown of where we are in our progression. So the features that we've already installed are the car price estimator, the car history check, local market sales data, common issues and repair costs, in-depth car reporting, a car inventory dashboard, and a live chat. But what we're missing is still CRM dashboard and a car condition picture analysis, as well as some other features. Now, our pricing is going to be free, $20 a month or $100 a year. And to access the private academy where you actually get the course and all the resources to actually flip cars efficiently, the user would have to pay $20 or $100 a month. So when you're building your softwares, that's something to keep in mind, where if you're also creating a software where it's the solution to the client's problem, then adding a course or adding a community to your offer will make it very, very powerful. Now, talking about the software, guys, we're using the replit agent as our AI coder. We're using the Perplexity AI API to give us the real-time car prices, the common issues, and it searches locally depending on where the user is actually located. For our VIN verification check, we're using this API Ninja. We've already integrated Stripe, and we're using Neon PostgreSQL to do our database. Alrighty guys, so before I actually show you the application that we've built so far, I actually just want to explain like my no-code app building flow. When I come up with an idea for an app, the next questions that I ask myself are like, what's the user experience like? When they sign in, where are they going? And what features are they allowed to use? That leads us to our second question, which is what are these actual features? And once I identify those features, like the Vin search, for example, I can then find the APIs that I need to handle these features, right? So we have the Perplexity API, we have the Stripe API, and we have the Ninja API for all of the features we need for this project. And so from there, we figured out the user experience. So now we can actually figure out what pages we need the application to have. Sign-in page, car valuation page, inventory page, subscription page, etc. And then once you get all of those out of the way, we can actually start identifying what our competitors are doing and what we can actually do to give ourselves a competitive advantage. So if you guys look in episode 1, I explained that Carfax, for example, is charging $70 for a VIN history report. So we can charge like $5, and we created a competitive advantage in that way. Another way we can create a competitive advantage is the community feature that I spoke about earlier, right? Because this community feature is the education that's going to help the users actually use our app efficiently, therefore making them successful users of the application. And so that's our competitive advantage, because I can personally give advice on people flipping their cars in our community. So now that we understand all of that, guys, let's look at the application and where we're at, and then we'll talk about next steps for episode 3. All right, guys, so now that we're back in Replit, I can actually show you how far we are with Flipify. So let's open this up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna register as a brand new account, right? So we're just gonna write Kev5 as the email. We're gonna log in as a new user. We're gonna set our password. Okay, now that we're in, we can see that we have the subscription status as free, and we gave each free user 1 use of the features. So we're gonna skip past the features and we're gonna quickly upgrade to Pro. So when you're on Replit and you wanna upgrade to a Pro plan to see if your Stripe is working, you need to open it in a new tab, because Replit doesn't allow you to open up new links in its little builder here. So you need to open up in a new link. So now that we're in this new link, I'm gonna go to subscription, where we have our pricing plans. Now, if you wanna know how to do the pricing plans with Stripe, that's in a previous video where I show you guys how to integrate Stripe. But now, since we have these pages already, we're gonna click upgrade to Pro monthly. I'm just gonna sign in with a fake card, and I'm going to register for the Pro plan. Okay, cool. So we got that successful notification, and it logged us out to log us back in with the Pro plan. So we're going to log in with that same information. And as you guys can see, when we log in now, we get this cool animation that says, welcome to Pro, your monthly subscription is now active, and it lists a couple of the features that you now have access to. And so now let's start playing around with all of the features. Let's start with the car valuation. So we're in Canada, we're using kilometers. Let's say we're looking at a 2023 Chevrolet Corvette with 5,000 kilometers in Canada and the province of Ontario. So we're going to send that first request in. Okay, cool. So we got all of the information back. Now this is an MVP, so we're keeping things very simple. It gives us the estimated market value. It's quick little analysis. It gave us all of the common issues, and it also color coded them and ranked them by the severity of the issues. So starts at $8,000 and the lowest common issues around $1,000. And then the coolest thing that we just added, guys, is that it also then searches the similar cars for sale that are near you. So these are all the similar cars that are for sale, and we can actually open up those links and we can see that car listing. So we can actually compare in real time the different cars that are available that are similar to the one that we put into the form. Now the next thing here is the VIN number search, right? So we're going to put in the VIN number and we're going to put in the model. Now this is going to be updated with an even better API in the future, but for now, this thing's already working pretty well. So we're going to click check history. And we got back the accurate information. So it is a 2017 Nissan SL trim. It also gave us the links verifying the sources. This still isn't completely accurate, but it's pretty good. And then it gives another market value analysis. And what's really cool here is it also has all of the titles, all the different updated titles in the database that it was able to source. And then it tells you where it sourced all of that information. So all of that looks really, really good. And one more feature I want to show you guys is the chat room. So the chat room is a live chat that we were able to add to the application. This again is all done with no code, but as you guys can see, I'm the only online user, and all the other test accounts that I've been using have been chatting with one another. So as you guys can see here, I can say, hey, I'm thinking of buying a Nissan. What do you think, right? For example, and then you guys can see that that chat is now updated. And then this And then this chat gets refreshed every 24 hours as well. Now, the last feature, guys, is the inventory. And the inventory is where you can add vehicles, you can add expenses to the vehicles after you purchase them. So let's say you purchased them from somebody and then you needed to give it an oil change or a transmission flush or a tire change or something like that. You need to add those to the expenses. And so that's something that we built into Flipify. So really quick, we're just going to write test, 2017, $5,000, and the target price that we want to sell it at, let's say it's $6,000. So now we add that to our inventory. And now we can see here that we have the 2017 vehicle, purchase price, target price, blah, 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 it has in stock. Total expenses are at 0. So we can add an expense. We can say the description of the expense is an oil change that costed, let's say, $70, and it was a maintenance category. We click that add expense, and now we can see that the total expenses has been updated. Now, one thing that I still have to work on is updating the information in the current inventory to the inventory dashboard, but that'll be something that we come out with in episode 3. And the last thing I want to show you guys here is the homepage that all users, even non-signed in users, are going to see, right? So they get the welcome to Flipify landing page, but they're also going to get an entire video tutorial that's going to show them how to use Flipify. And here we just have the first episode of this Flipify build instead of the actual tutorial, but soon that'll be switched out with the tutorial itself. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys is the actual Stripe backend to just show you that all of these transactions has been coming through. And then we'll move on to episode 3 of building out Flipify, where you guys are going to then start seeing real marketing and real traffic generation and stuff like that. All right, so we're just signing into Flipify's backend here. And once it loads, we can see that, we've done $340 in gross volume, but that was just from all the test transactions. So that shows that the transactions are working properly. You can always go back into the developers and look in the webhooks, and you'll see your active webhooks, and you'll see the error rate as well. So this is how you can kind of fix your webhooks. That tutorial is already there for you guys. Now that you guys saw Flipify episode 2, I just want to let you guys know about next steps, right? So next steps, I'm going to show you guys actually deploying it as a website. So we have the flipify.ai domain, and we have to just switch the Stripe connections from the test to the live mode, and then this thing's ready to go. And when this thing launches, then I'm going to go out there and start buying cars, and I'm going to go with my videographer to document that process so that you guys can literally build your own version of Flipify, and you can copy my marketing that I'm doing for Flipify as well.